Got a good one there?
Yeah, but that's the rig, you know, like you said. Here, take my rod, because I've got the 8-weight sink tip on there.
Yeah, try it.
And here's a perfect example of what's gonna make it successful and what's not. This line is only 2 weights heavier than the line I'm using. Identical lines. Mine's is a 6-weight sink tip, fast sink. This is an 8-weight, right? Fast sink. Yeah. And there's a difference, is I'm getting a few bumps, not hooking up many fish. Dale says, here, got identical flies, use my line, take some casts with the faster, the deeper sink. Whoa, boy, this guy's not a bad one.
I think he's pretty good.
Get it down deep in the pocket, and this line probably gets it right down to the bottom. Yeah. Like you can feel it bump across the rocks. And there's the big key. All the fish are sitting down low, and you have to get the line down there. So whatever it takes, if you've got a 6-weight line and you're not getting down, put on some split shot. Put on something to get you down there. Real nice thing to have is airflow makes these really deadly fast sink tips that you can put on. Those will get you down real quick. Get the super sinks, they'll get you right to the bottom. But I mean, this line is heavy.
Oh, it's heavy, yeah.
It's really heavy.
It's an 8-weight steelhead.
Yeah, and it's an 8-weight steelhead, yeah. So you're right on the run. But then again, this is big water.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to get down. So if you're fishing the Crow's Nest River, some of the smaller ones, you can get away with the 5 weights and the 4 weights. But in this big water,
no, that's big.
You can't. You got to get down there. And I think an 8-weight.
Speaking of big, I think that fish is pretty big.
Not bad.
You'd have to get a net here.
Well, let's have a look. Oh, he's a toad.
Oh, it's a big brown.
Oh, is it a brown or is it a bull? I think it's a bull. Oh, it's a rainbow.
It's a rainbow, yeah.
Oh, he's a nice one too. He's a beauty. Oh, I got to get him in here. He's nice, eh?
We don't have a net around. Do you want me to try to go in and tail this fish?
Well,
it's going to be difficult.
The boats are quite a ways up. Well, try it. Do the guide thing.
We'll have to go in.
It's your fly.
He's a big fish, that's for sure. It's barbless too, so he can shake it out.
You know, see. But that's the difference. I can't believe the difference you can tell. You know, you can really see it as that line gets down there.
Oh, that's a nice rainbow.
And I mean, you look at your line. How long have you had this line for? It's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been
probably
around
had this line about 90 years, but only because of that steelhead sink tip.
And I used it for the steelhead when we were down steelhead.
That's right.
And look at how well it worked.
Yeah, it worked excellent there too. So there's a perfect example is if you want to go to the bigger rivers like the Columbia River, the Bull River, and you want to get that line down, get the super fast 8-weight sinks or those airflow reel super sink salmon or steelhead tips. Oh, and you can get down to where the big fish are.
He's coming in. Oh, he's fat.
I'm trying to get him some air. Oh, look at how thick he is. Oh, is that a dandy? Look at the tail fluke. Look at that. Oh, what a meaty fish. You know, that's got to weigh, what, a few pounds? 4 pounds,
yeah.
5 pounds,
4
eh?
or 5 pounds,
that's a nice fish, probably 20 inches plus.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a dandy, eh? Yeah, because look at how wide they are. They're just, they're so fat, eh? Beautiful fish.
Good backs.
And they're really fat fish. What a beautiful, healthy fishery this is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
let's let him go.
Prime shape.
He's not going to take long either, is he? There he goes.
No.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Well, good job, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now we're going to have to fight over a rod because this is the hot rod today. Dale's rod is being the hot rod. And again, mainly because I think he's getting right to the bottom. If you're just having taps on the fish, you know, you've always used this, and you're known as the bugger guy, the bugger king. You know how to work a bugger real well, and you always catch a lot of fish. And I think this line is a secret line. See, I'm giving away the secret now. He doesn't want to, but it is. I can feel the weight on that. It like pulls an 8-weight rod down.
No, it's a technique, has nothing to do with it.
Well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it back to you, let you get a couple, and then I'll come back and get it after. I'll play with my little 6-weight for a while.
Good luck.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we'll see you in a bit, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have some more fish for you. Hi everybody, and welcome to the bench. Well, today I'm going to tie you up the woolly bugger. Now this fly can be used in lakes and rivers. It's a very versatile fly, and the special thing about this fly is you can pretty well use it for any species of trout, bass, anything you want to fish for, this fly can catch. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie this fly. We're going to tie the woolly bugger on a size 4, 4X long streamer hook. we're going to use some black mono thread. To weight the hook, we'll use some .025 lead wire. We'll use some black marabou for the tail, some black dark olive chenille for the body. We'll use some heavy copper wire for the ribbing, and a nice soft brown saddle for the hackle. I'm going to start off by taking my .025 lead wire, and we're going to wrap this in as the base. Wrap it around the hook and wind it all the way up forward so that you're covering 3/4 of the hook. And make sure that that lead wrap is nice and wound, nice and tight onto that hook. I now have the lead wrap all wrapped in around my hook, and what we're going to do is use our tying thread, and very front of the lead wrap we're going to build up kind of a dam in the front. Now you build up a dam in the front of the lead, build up a dam at the back of the lead, and that way that lead won't move on the hook. Now that I have the lead wrap all wrapped in and dammed up so it's not going to slide on my hook, I'm going to take some black marabou. With the black marabou, I'm only going to use the tips. I'm going to measure out the length of the hook. I want these tips to be as long as the hook and tie it in at the back, just so that tail sticks out about the hook length. The tail is now tied in. We're going to take some heavy copper wire and we're going to tie it in, and we'll just keep this out the back and use it for ribbing up the body after we tie in the body. What I've done is selected a nice brown saddle hackle. I prefer the hackle to have the real brown fibers on the outside and some black in the middle. It really makes the bugger look nice. Also, the important thing with the hackle is tie it in by the tips, because this will palmer up the hackle really nicely, starting with the shorter fibers at the back of the hook and going to the longer fibers near the head. Now I've taken some nice black and dark olive chenille, and what we're going to do is tie it in for the body, and make sure you lay down a good base of the chenille on the hook so that the hook remains nice and even when this is wrapped in. Now we're going to take that chenille and wrap it forward to form the body. And make sure you fill in all the spaces as you work your way to the eyelet. And once you make the eyelet, tie off. To rib the body, we're going to take the nice copper wire we had sitting back, and we're slowly going to wind it forward. I like to make about 6 to 7 turns up the body. And we'll tie off at the head. For the final step in the fly, I'm going to take my brown hackle and I'm slowly going to palmer it forward. And when I get near the eyelet, I take a few extra turns to build up that head to make it look real nice. One more thing before you finish the fly off is I like to pull all the hackle feathers back and actually tie on a nice big black head. And I'll actually try to tie over my hackle fibers just at the head of the fly, and that'll actually push all those fibers back to form a real nice bullet head. Well, there it is, the finished woolly bugger. You know, make sure you have a whole box full of these flies available whenever you need them, because it is, again, such a versatile fly, and you never know what species you're going to go after. This fly will catch them. Give it a try.